Welcome. My name is Joseph Anderson, and today I'll be discussing the Connex QuickBooks Rules Engine. So a little bit about me. I'm the CEO and founder of Sync with Connex, and I've been working with QuickBooks for over 12 years. I started the Connex project back in 2011, and I'm the principal software developer. And since that time, I've helped set up hundreds of companies with the QuickBooks Online and desktop editions. Our first question today is, what is the purpose of the rules engine? You can use our rules engine to dynamically change the field mapping based on a scenario. You could say if the SKU matches ABC, then map it to 123. If the payment method starts with the phrase PayPal, such as PayPal Express, just map it to PayPal. Or map all coupon codes to the phrase discount. There are many more mappings, but I'll just be showing a handful of the most popular for today. The rules run before the orders sync to QuickBooks, but after your orders from your website have been pulled. You could think of it like a sandwich where the orders from your website are one slice of bread and the QuickBooks is another, and everything in between is the rules engine. So it's a way of intercepting the orders before they sync and making some mapping changes. Without the rules engine, and I've seen this with other integrators, there would be a ton of settings and the fields would remain static. You would have checkboxes and drop downs and grids, and you would have a grid just to map payment methods. And everything could just be put into one rules engine. I've seen systems where they have a SKU mapping tool but they don't map other fields like payment methods or deposit accounts. So it's more rules can be enabled with this particular tool because you can choose the fields. Without this automation, without these rules, it would really cut down on the automation that Connex supplies. So with Connex, you could say if the payment method is PayPal, then put all the orders into the PayPal asset account. Without this, your fields remain static, and everything would go into undeposited funds or go into PayPal that really shouldn't, and it would cost several hours to fix orders. So what can I compare with the Connex rules engine? We offer a very large list of comparisons, which include matches, equals, starts with, ends with, more than, less than, so you can work with the numbers. You could say if the shipping amount is more than $100 to mark it up by 1%. Matching is case insensitive, so if it's equals, if it's all caps of how are you, you could do it all in lower cases for the comparison. And our tool will trim the white space before and at the end of a phrase to better compare it. Can I chain rules together? Yes, you could say use an or and and statement. And here's an example of an or at our rules engine where we say the product SKU before rules. And I say product SKU before rules because you want to make sure that no rules have run before you take a look at the SKU. So if you had a rule that changes a SKU from ABC to 123, what's a SKU before that change? That's what that means. You can see here the conjunction column, we have an or statement. We have a matches comparison. You can also use an and statement and say if the payment method matches PayPal and if a selling channel matches eBay. One thing to note is that you can't chain the and the or statement, so I couldn't use or under selling channel and have it work properly. So both of these would have to evaluate to true. We also offer a way to run certain rules on certain connections. So you could run your payment method matching on your ShipStation connection, and then you could run your SKU matching on your Amazon connection, and etc. The issue with this is that you'd have to add all rules to all connections and then delete the rules that you don't want to run on the connection. So if you didn't want your map payment method rule to run on your eBay connection, then you have to delete it from this list. By default, any rule that's not on this list, that's not added to any connection, will fail to run at all. So it's very important that you click the add all rules first and then remove the ones, or click add rules to connection to do them manually. Connex can map almost any field in QuickBooks, and we have a lot of actions that you can perform, but I'm just going to go over the top 5 most popular. You can map SKUs, you can map deposit accounts, you can map shipping methods, you can map discount codes, and in the drop down you can just enter the phrase discount and you'll see actions similar to this. And you can map payment methods. Other notable actions include custom field matching, mapping classes, mapping the name of the selling channel, even mapping some of the customer names before they sync to QuickBooks. So after writing all these rules, how do you know if they worked? On the second to last step of our wizard, we have an order previewer, and you can choose the fields to show. You can select the connection, like your Shopify or Amazon, and enter some order numbers to test. Here's a quick screenshot using a testing account that I have. And you can see in fields I can choose what fields I want to show in this particular scenario. So can I back up the rules in case I make breaking changes? Maybe you're adding a new rule, you're deleting some rules. I just want to go back to the way things were. The rules engine allows you to import and export spreadsheets, so you could export all your rules prior to making changes, and then delete them all and re-import, and then go back to the way it was. We offer a CSV file if you're doing just product mappings, where it's just 2 columns of what is it in your website and what should it be in QuickBooks. So we do offer some rule templates that you can use in that fashion. What are the best practices with the rules engine? You want to limit your number of rules. I can tell you I've seen many customers upload 100, 1,000 SKU mappings, and you could say if the SKU ends with -FBA to strip it, and that will take care of hundreds of rules. You could use a starts with to do the same thing, or say if the SKU contains a phrase like ABC, then map everything to ABC. The fewer rules you have, the better the software performs. Try to chain the rules with an AND statement instead of running rules on certain connections, because it's easier to troubleshoot and it's a lot more intuitive. Using our order previewer, you can test the rules before they sync, and this can save a tremendous amount of time. Instead of having to just delete a bunch of sales and then resync them, you can see how they perform. We allow a maximum of 5,000 rules per user, and having a large number of rules, especially ones with a SKU mapping, can cause a slower sync. So it's very important that you limit the number of rules to map your SKUs. Now having 100, 200, 300 is not a big deal, but when you have a large number of sales like 3, 4, 500 and you get 3,000 rules to map SKUs, the software has to loop through every single order and every single order item, and that can cause a slower sync or possibly a timeout where you'd have to shorten your sync ranges. So in summary, Connex can map almost any field in QuickBooks dynamically. Deposit accounts, items, inventory sites, bins, order dates, classes, you name it. If it's readable, writable, we can map it. You can match a phrase and say if a phrase equals, so if the SKU contains ABC, then map it to 1, 2, 3. You can do ends with, starts with. There's many comparisons that you can use. You can chain rules together and say if the payment method is PayPal and if the selling channel is eBay, then run this rule. And you can also import or export spreadsheets of rules if you want to do some experiments or just have a backup. So after this, if you're still experiencing sync issues, what's the best way to contact us? If you go to help.synkwithconnex.com, you can click on the submit a ticket on the top right, and you can just detail some of the errors that you have. What sync dates did you try? Show us any duplicate products, stock changes that failed to sync, and we will respond within 1 business day. Thank you.